What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Black Coffee and Conversation. My name is CT Minimal, along with
Rico Moore.
Hollis Lewis.
yes, and we're part of the Black Light Initiative. We're missing another one of our crew members, Stuart, but try to get him on a future episode. So, what we talking about today, Rico?
And I'm gonna let Hollis. He's new.
It's Hollis' first time on the show, so what's on your mind?
It's a lot going on. Just the the holidays is coming up. New Year's is coming up. You know, people got different resolutions. It's a lot going on. You know what I mean? Different things in the news. The tax bill. What y'all think about that? Like,
Before we get going, I need to apologize. Last week I was talking about there are no black businesses as far as retail around here, and I forgot one of the best retail spots I know definitely in our city, probably in the state. Belle's Boutique is the only black business I can think of. She sells wedding gowns and so forth.
Okay.
And not only is it a really good boutique as far as that, it's a real well put together business. It's a very nice looking business. It's very professionally done. It's something that we should all aspire to. We're gonna build a business building that.
Where's that at?
It's on
Virginia Street.
Okay. I didn't know that.
600 Virginia Street.
Belle does a great job, not only with the way it looks, with the quality of the merchandise, and with the marketing that she does.
Okay, sweet, man. That's awesome, man.
So I just wanted to apologize because that's the only black retail business I can think of in Charleston.
That's awesome, man.
So I'm sorry, I just need to get that in there.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess back to this tax reform bill. What's your opinions, Rico?
It's just like everything else it does no good for us. We will reap no benefits from it. He has a permanent tax cut for people who have lots of money, and then the quote-unquote supposed tax cut for the middle class, and everybody else dissolves. And this trickle-down effect that they keep talking about didn't work with Reagan, it won't work now.
Yeah.
You see the thing with AT&T?
When they laid off all the employees like right before Christmas, yeah, that was pretty hard.
No, I didn't see that. What happened?
Oh man, first they talked about all this. Did they say something about the raises and all that stuff?
Yeah,
and then they cut 600 jobs.
Yeah, they can give them some sort of bonus, but then cut some people at the
When
same
was
time.
it? I must have missed this.
It's like earlier this week, I believe.
After the tax bill went through.
Yeah.
So I guess it trickled down.
Well, but let me ask you a
Trickled down
question.
and
drowned them out.
it trickled your butt down out the door.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
trickled down and drowned them right out the door, washed them away.
Just as far as the tax cut in general now, initially, it's kind of like a scale thing. So initially, like, the middle class people making a certain money will get the tax cut, but then it'll scale out where you'll actually tax more, right? Is that how it's
But
working?
here's the problem though. Even if that is true, there is no black middle class. Either black people with wealth, or you got the black people who ain't got nothing. You know, average black person don't even have $500 in their bank account.
Well, you got to go even further. If you're in West Virginia, people here, we do not know true wealth. The majority of us. Less than 1% of us know true wealth. People here make $100,000 a year, and people around them believe that they are rich. If you're in California, New York, Northern Virginia, you
Standard of living.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so the people running around in these places, I'm gonna say just about all of West Virginia, definitely in eastern Kentucky and parts of Ohio, where the opiate epidemic is heavy. These people have no money. So all these people that are running around saying, "Oh, he did such a great thing for us," you have absolutely no understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, and the thing is, they gonna say, all right, we have a deficit, we need to balance it out. They gonna start cutting out all these programs that benefit the poor, like Medicaid, Medicare. They already talk about CHIPS, TANF, which is food stamps, basically, housing. And so I think we're gonna be in for a rude awakening here in the next 2 or 3 years. And I don't know if a lot of people are prepared for that.
Now, with the trickle-down effect, what they like to
And in West
proclaim?
Virginia, they better really be aware, because the majority of the people here are on food stamps and so forth are white. They're not black like they would have you believe.
So it's gonna be real. It's gonna be chaos.
Yeah, it's having a devastating effect on West Virginia.
Yeah. Now with the trickle-down effect, the proclaim is that what they'll do is, like, because I have these tax cuts, that I can hire more people, right? I mean, that's kind of the the short and skinny of it, right?
I mean, they get to say that because the people who have never ran a business, you know, the quote unquote tax cuts per se, that's mainly just for the corporations.
Yeah.
But but if you're a small business, I know that because our family runs a small business. Ain't gonna be no real tax cut.
Oh, okay.
So unless they gonna get tax cuts for like the AT&T, Verizon, Walmart, those gonna be people get the tax cuts.
First, you have to define small business.
Yeah.
Well, the small business is a business that employs at least 50 people. That's a small business. A small business ain't a 1 or 2
Talking
person.
about finding
operation.
money.
Finding.
Money.
Okay. I
Finding
thought you said
money,
define.
okay.
Okay.
Well, let me define it in terms of what do they consider a small business in terms of how much money you make.
Well, it's not small business. Is not really how much money you make. It's in how many people you employ. That's what a small business is. That's my understanding of the definition. You could be making hundreds of $millions, but if you only employ 20, 30 people, that's still a small business per se. Now,
Okay.
Am I wrong on that or no?
No, I'm just like, you're making all this money and you're still considered a small business or large business, but it's based on how many employees that you have. So, but the more employees you have, if you make 100 million, then you're gonna make less money because you got more overhead,
Yeah.
right? So,
Makes sense.
you see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but you asking what the definition was. I mean,
The way that it's supposed to be, but just like all of our laws, they look good on paper, but how do they actually apply them? You know what I mean? So,
Exactly, man. But just as far as what I was saying about like this trickle down effect, the theory is that because I get these tax breaks, I can then hire more employees. But what like you said during the '80s economics, it didn't necessarily work that way. What happened is that you probably want to hire less employees, so the guys at the top, the owners and everything like that, is going to pocket more money from the business.
pretty much.
I was listening to a program the other day. I forgot which one, and somebody was saying, made a statement. You don't become a billionaire by, practicing ethical business practices.
No, I think it was. I think it was.
You don't become an Elon Musk or Bill Gates by practicing ethical or moral business.
I think it was.
Business is cutthroat.
I think it was Kennedy's dad that said all real money is made in the dark.
Yeah.
And then blood.
Yeah, that's like what was it? I think it was Tesla. He actually first invented electricity, but they didn't want to give him credit, so on and so forth, for it because he wanted to basically give it out.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, we got to find a way to monopolize this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess the theory on the trickle down effect is your cup becomes so full that it overflows. And
Yeah.
falls to the people below you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what happens?
They just got more money about bigger cups.
No, what happens is that the CEO about to buy a private jet.
Go buy a pot, make sure don't nothing trickle out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Big pot.
Yeah.
Catches those runneth overs.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't gonna run over. I got more money. I'll buy a bigger cup.
Yeah.
That's the way that works.
Yeah.
It seems to anyway from Reaganomics.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see.
My thing is, I think what this is going to effect is going to have on the black community is going to showcase that far too many of us been living beyond our means, and we're going to have to scale back.
Yeah.
Ain't going to be able to buy 4 pair of $20 Jordans a month.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna disagree.
What do you think is going to happen?
I'm gonna disagree. That I've watched them have no money and find a way to buy the Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I know people who barely making rent, but they got brand new sneakers on their feet.
That is very
Who
true.
aren't, or 5 months behind in rent,
Very true.
but they're gonna buy sneakers. We need to figure out how to get people in touch with reality of, hey, look, Jordans, those wear out. You
Yeah.
know? Those are only good for a few months.
Yeah.
Go buy you a good pair of boots that you can resole. Unless you play basketball. It's about having, to me, even with the clothes I like to buy, and I love clothes, I'm not gonna lie. It's more about quality versus quantity.
Yeah.
And it should be that way to us with most things, to be honest. You know,
So I mean, that was an interesting point. Like just moving forward, people like to make New Year's resolutions. So, do you think, like, far as like Black people moving forward in the state and just worldwide, we have to think more about investing as opposed to just pure commerce?
I think
what
I
I mean?
think we
Even
need
on a
to
small
invest, even if we don't have the money right now. Well, I mean, we do have money, but not as much as other ethnic groups. We need to start investing in people.
yeah.
I feel like if you start, investing in people, build up, their confidence, their self-worth,
Knowledge
the
base.
knowledge, the money is going to start flowing.
The way that
in my opinion,
I'm gonna grab something real quick.
And so I feel like that's where we kind of,
I'm sorry.
have the disconnect sometimes. We think we're going to invest in Bitcoin.
Oh, it went down.
I know it did.
Yeah, it went down.
Yeah, and I had Black people on my Facebook talk about, you need to buy some Bitcoin. I just wanted to laugh. Okay, you don't even know what you're talking about, but instead of just thinking about a get rich quick scheme, we need to actually get it like a 3 or 4 generation plan.
Yeah, it's a whole thought process.
I guess what I was thinking more like not only from a financial standpoint, but I think what Rico said about just like the clothes you choose to buy something that's going to last you buy a coat that's going to last 2 or 3 winters as opposed to buying a trendy Supreme coat with just a coat with the name flag all over. You know what I mean? Just kind of
That's
thought
Supreme.
process.
I never understood the
I don't
the
get it.
hype behind Supreme, but
See, I'm like this. When you buy North Face, people will go buy one every. I know people that want one every time winter comes. You buy North Face because
that
you
thing's
spent
gonna
$300 because you should have it 5 years. I just picked this up and I was just reading this magazine and it was looking at this dude's outfit, right? And it was showing the clothes, right? The cost of the clothes. Now, it shows a jacket that he's going to pay $695 for, right? But it also shows 12 wears a month times 7 months a year times 10 years. It should last you 10 years. So you break it down that way, you're only looking at 83 cents per wear. And you look at it long term. So what they're saying is if you buy quality, you're going to have it longer. You should have it longer. Like these jeans. These jeans, I don't remember the name of them or whatever. I'm not going to read the name. I'm not going to promote them. But they're $175. But what they're saying is if you wear them 8 times a month for a year, for 10 years, they should last 10 years. These jeans are supposed to have a lifetime warranty. If they have a hole or whatever, you can send them back. That adds up to 18 cents per wear. Instead of buying
But how much were they to begin with?
$175. So instead of buying 10 pairs of jeans, you buy 1 or 2, 3, 4 good jeans that last you over time.
Yeah.
But what you talking about? You go to school, they gonna be like, you wear the same clothes, homie.
That's what I
They
mean.
gonna start cracking jokes on you.
We got to invest in thought process. But like I went to GW. You went to GW,
Yeah.
which in Charleston, that's a school for most of the upper class
Yeah,
as far as
definitely.
economics.
It's the closest thing to a private school without being a private school.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the kids there, their parents are doctors, lawyers,
Yes.
and our parents weren't. So,
Yeah.
we're looking at kids there, and they don't think that way. They may have a pair of boots, some nice jeans. They may have on, at the time of North Face, and they'll have it. They're gonna keep that for a couple of years.
Yeah, man, that's
And
funny.
it's the mentality.
It's funny you bring
They
that
got
up.
the money
man.
to do it.
It's funny you bring that up because me and my homeboy, we always talk about that because we went up there together. We both from the West Side. We went up there. I mean, and these kids would literally wear the same thing every day, wear pajamas. I mean, it was not a fashion show. You know what I mean?
But in contrast that to Capital,
LL
I went to Capital.
Yeah. But the other big boots, you still
last
last
forever.
They last forever.
But here's the thing though, y'all went to GW, I went to Capital.
I went to Charleston High first.
You better not be caught even wearing the same sneaker every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have at least 3 pairs of sneakers. You might be able to get away with wearing a couple pairs of sneakers twice a week, but your shoes start talking. You get clowned. You get clowned on.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be fight that day.
Yeah, you see, you
But
get
check this out, I'm
clowned.
older than both of y'all, so I was at Charleston High at the height of the crack era. So you know what coming to school was like. You got dudes staying out all night hustling, going shopping before they come to school, because they ain't coming till lunch.
Yeah.
So, the whole mentality was different. But when you come from having nothing and you got the opportunity to get a few things,
Yeah.
It's, it's like somebody starving and you put a sheet of cookies in front of them. They don't want one cookie.
They want them all.
They don't try to get them all, so the stomach
But, I
explodes.
mean,
And then I don't worry about the ingredients neither.
no, they don't care what's in it. The stomach will explode. And,
But the thing is, though, is that then an effect of slavery that we've never really been deprogrammed from? Because if you've grown up and seen everything, not even slavery, even go back to like we was talking about in the previous episode of Black Wall Street, where anytime we accomplish something, quote unquote, it gets taken away from us. So now you're just like, all right, what can I get now? I don't know if something's gonna be taken away at any moment.
including your life.
Well, including your life. So can you fault these people per se for trying to get instant gratification?
I'm not saying I'm faulting them. I'm just saying it's time for us
Time to level up.
to level up and grow up and pay attention, because there are other states, like when I'm in Houston, when I went to law school in Houston, it's neighborhoods of black people doing well and understand economics and understand taking care of finance and taking care of home. So it's not just all the way across the board. I mean, it seems to be that way here in Charleston, but it's not everywhere.
But even in those neighborhoods, I went to school down south too, where you have like well-to-do black people. It's still not a point where those well-to-do black people are on code with one another to start to build. They're still kind of dependent on maybe a political system. They're not to the point where they're okay, if we don't like your school, we're just gonna build our own school. So I think at each level we at, wherever level you at, you have to level up from that level. You have to level up from that thinking. Because we're not at a point for black people per se to, it's like the guy from Alabama, the senator who
Doug Jones.
Doug
Yeah.
Jones. He hired an all-white
Well,
senior
I mean,
advisor
what,
staff.
what, what did you expect though?
But what I'm saying is that, again, we come out to vote, we're doing one half of the job. We're constantly doing one half of the job.
But
not thinking
you're
about
doing
the
one
other
after
half.
the job because
You know what
there was no real true agenda at the beginning. It was just we didn't want this racist pedophile
That's
in
what I'm
office.
trying to say.
But okay, I mean, I agree with both of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Both of y'all, I like both of y'all's points. But when they got in that race, those were the only two horses in the race. So you had to go with the best horse you had, right?
Well, no.
Now, to me, the way to fix it is, okay, we got you there. Now come to the table and say, we got you here. There's a mechanism to take you out and figure out what the mechanism is. That we voted you in here, but we expect something for our
But
vote.
see, that should have been done prior
I mean,
to.
but it wasn't. So now,
But what I'm saying is, like, that's the level of thinking we got to. I mean, what's done is done.
Right.
And I think now what we've seen as far as nationwide America, we've seen the power that we have, like you
Right.
said, to vote.
Right.
So the next time it happens, you gotta say, okay, we're gonna let old buddy in over here who ain't no good unless you appoint. We got these 5 people that we need in positions. You know what I mean? That's gotta be the That's what I'm saying is like. That's just got to be the leveling up process from
Next time.
well-to-do black people, from political black people, from poor black people, from everybody. We all got to level up.
But the thing is, in regards to voting, there's some people who say is, all right, learn the lesson from Doug Jones. I mean, I hear what Rico was saying, well, that's the only 2 people in the race. To me, and other people have, echoed this sentiment. If we would have said, you know what, we're just going to, withhold our vote this election. Because, listen, because Doug Jones, first of all, during his acceptance speech, he didn't even thank the black people. Shoot, if it wasn't for them. But the thing is, though, you can't. I don't agree with what you're saying. Is once you get in, then you go with your list of demands. You go with the
No.
demands first.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then what
I'm
are you saying
We
then?
should have done that, but we got in late.
Water under the bridge,
We got
yeah.
in late, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think we got in late though, because.
we got in late in terms of because
conversation.
nobody, having the conversation. Nobody knew about
But
this.
are they that ignorant that they don't understand how it works?
What I'm saying is we can't go backwards on that election. We can learn from it, and from when we move forward. Okay, look at what we did here. We didn't have anybody in it, so next time make sure we have somebody in it. But when we're just going to talk about just the Doug Jones situation, the way to fix that situation is to say, we got you here. See the numbers? We can also use those same numbers to take you out. Now, next time there is an election, it won't be the same type of situation because, hey, Hollis, you want to run? You see the numbers that we used to get him in? We're going to use those same numbers to put you in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we learn from it in that aspect of it, but ain't no use saying, well, Well, we shoulda, woulda. Forget shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay,
Yeah.
next time we going to do this.
And as far as
That's all I'm saying.
as far as like the I just don't think we're politically astute. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's an ignorance thing. I just don't think we're astute. I think we've been kind of fed a particular narrative.
Walking around daydreaming.
Yeah, I think we've been fed a particular. Now, I mean, you look at Martin Luther King, they done turned the man into Santa Claus. Not realize he was a revolutionary. Just from a side note.
Good.
But I don't think that we're politically astute, and we don't think the process through per se, and we don't understand the power of our vote prior to voting.
Well, the
You know
thing
what I
is,
mean?
politics is an exchange. You know,
Exactly.
and for too many, years on end, we have voted and gotten a negative exchange.
But I don't think we've asked for anything.
And that's what I'm saying, though. I mean,
I don't think we're
I
malicious.
don't think it's a negative exchange. I just don't think we've asked for
I
nothing.
don't-
it is a negative exchange.
I don't think
though,
we're
because-
malicious enough.
I just don't think
But
we've
it
asked
is a
for
negative
anything.
exchange, though, because
But
somebody
I-
else that keep on getting something, you get nothing. You falling backwards.
I don't-
under the last 8
I don't
years,
think we're malicious enough. What I mean by that is we look at things from an altruistic, moral point of view as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And they look at it from almost this is a
Power.
war.
Power,
They
yeah.
look at from they're almost at war to maintain what they want. I mean, if you can go all the way back to the beginning when they just say when they landed on Africa, a lot of these people got welcomed in. And these people came there. These people came there with an agenda almost. You know, it was just a different outlook, and we still, for some reason, have that outlook of.
So why is it after
if anybody in America should be mad, it should be us.
But why? That's what I was about to ask. So after all the years of oppression and brutality directed towards us, why is it that we continue to have forgiveness in our hearts?
It's who we are. I mean,
But that's to our detriment, though.
to a certain extent, yeah. I mean, I'm agreed. That's the only thing I can come up with. I don't know why, because me personally, and I can say this, and some people can't say it and truly mean it. I'd rather die than to continue to be mistreated or have my kids mistreated.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, since I've been here practicing or whatever, I really don't want to be involved. I don't want anything to say about it. But it's gotten to me to a point where we can't afford not to.
You got kids
say
now.
something. Well, even without the kids, it's like it's no longer evolving.
Yeah.
Society is instead of evolving, seems to be rolling back. I mean, we're having
That's
all
Make
these-
America Great Again. What
Yeah,
do you think they was
exactly.
What do you think they were referring to? They were referring to the 50s.
Oh shit,
Or
the
even,
40s.
Roy Moore was thinking
see,
about the damn slavery.
I think like, because I think y'all made some interesting points, but I particularly think like, I think the black man and woman in the 60s and the 70s and even in the 50s was more politically astute. They were more angry because, like
had
you
to
said, because you were so limited, segregation, Jim Crow, you didn't have anything. Well, now, like you had mentioned before, you get a couple little trinkets and then you're pacified. Then everything's okay. You get to live on a house or a street where before we were segregated to our own neighborhoods where we had to fight, scrap for every little thing, where now it's not like that. So I think a lot of us, once we move to certain neighborhoods, once we go to certain schools, we're satisfied with whatever's going around
I feel
us.
like they made it instead of saying, not realize that we had made it when we were in our own neighborhoods doing well. We had made it in terms of we were making decisions about what's going on around us. Not completely, but we were heading in the right direction. And I think that society as a whole began to notice that, broke it up, continued, it's like a conglomerate. They just broke up the conglomerate and put different pieces, different bits, different parts so that they couldn't connect.
And even if you look at media, man, I can remember like when I growing up to like BET, you had like Ed Gordon and Jackie Reed. So you had a news outlet. Like we don't even have with Roland Martin gone now, we don't even have a mainstream. We have other media outlets, but it's not even a mainstream outlet where we can go find our news from our perspective. You know what I'm saying? So we're at a point where we're almost totally just like without information almost. Except for social media, which is
I think
Well,
double-edged sword.
the FCC stuff that just happened, we may not have a lot of social media.
There you go. See,
I think a problem with that is, technology is a gift and a curse.
Yeah, definitely.
We've relied so much on the digital age is You know, a lot of people don't even can't even read articles, like young people. Like
The
they
headlines.
read the headlines and just like say just pick some kind of crazy thing and say headlines like, oh that's what that's Donald Trump is getting rid of all the Muslims. Oh, we have to read the article. Or I'm gonna use that as an example. But we live in this quick Facebook, Twitter age where they can only read 140 characters. So you can't even grab their attention to actually fully ingest and understand. How many? When's the last time somebody, people read a news article? Even though I like Twitter, you may read the headlines, but then you can click on that and read the article. And it may take you 10, 15 minutes, but can you take at least 30 minutes out of your day to read 2 articles?
Man, that's actually a good point, man. And I think it's got to start with our kids, man. You got to start getting your kids reading like articles and stuff. Like that's actually a good. I'm gonna actually start doing that.
It's the
'Cause I got some
foundation.
other, I have my daughter reading kind of stuff she likes now, but I'm gonna start implementing just you said like articles, newspapers,
It's the
magazines.
foundation.
That's actually a good point.
It's the foundation. It's the foundation. You started at home, like he was talking about 50s, 60s, 70s. Well, let's just go. Music. Let's start there.
Yeah.
The music was even different. It had something to say. If your music today is Molly Percocet,
Well, but
that is stupid.
Let's say this though. What it was is our music within itself was diverse, because in the early '90s, late '80s, you could on like a BT top 10, you could have Public Enemy, you could have Luke, you could have X Clan, Public Enemy, you could have Redhead Kingpin, you could have Chris Cross, and but you can get everything.
But no, what I mean by that,
You know
when
what
I
I'm
said,
saying?
when I was, when my point, what I was getting to was that is, like you said, you could say we got what is being put out there
Oh, yeah.
to the masses.
Yeah,
Is Molly Percocet. You don't hear Big Crit on our local radio station.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's on there because he's huge, but a lot of them can't even understand what he's really saying because they don't take the time to listen to the lyrics. David Banner, sure, is not on our major radio station. Not here.
Yeah.
Not local.
Yeah.
Sci-Hi the Prince. I mean, Kendrick Lamar is. But a lot of them
Not
don't
even
really
on the
listen
radio.
to it. But he's not.
He definitely is not a radio
Definitely not on
artist.
radio.
Yeah, but I
Him,
mean,
J. Cole.
But the best thing about that
You know?
is it seems to be coming back in terms of if these kids will start listening to what they're saying.
I don't agree with that though. Maybe in your
I gotta
circle
take this
may be
call.
coming back, but
But I mean, before, I'm talking about before, hell, the last 5 years before this, you didn't hear anything like that. That's what I mean.
but the thing is, like if you listen to what like some of these teenagers stuff listen to, like I was doing some photography for the football, local capital. Like you listen to after the game, before the game. I'm like, man, this is what they listen to. Even like my cousin be clowning me. He get in the car, and I'm listening to like Kendrick. Like, you listen to Kendrick? I'm like, they listen to Lil Yachty or Lil. They got some artists called Little Pump, some white dude,
Yeah.
and young Dolph or whatever,
Yeah.
or ASAP, whatever. And so I think with the older people, some of the conscious music starting to come around, but I think with the teens, they still listen to that Molly Percocet, nonsense.
What I mean by coming back and saying, at least there's a more of an opportunity of it out there for it to maybe filter in. You know what I'm saying? For a while there, you didn't hear it at. Nobody tried to differentiate,
Yeah.
in terms of they heard this dude make this song about Molly Percocet, so then everybody else had to do it. So what I'm saying is, at least with these dudes, they're like, oh, hold on. Let's try this. And this is making way. Let's go back to a little bit of wordplay. Oh, by the way, did you listen to Black Dots?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
10 straight minutes.
He said it was off the dome too.
Yeah, it's 10 straight minutes.
Yeah, ain't no way he memorized that. It's impossible.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely was off the
Check
dome.
this
Like,
out.
you can't memorize 10 minutes like
It's
that.
10
I don't
minutes,
care.
over 2,000 words, nothing repeated, no Molly, no Percocet, no lean, straight knowledge, coherent. And it was coherent.
But I guess what I was
And
saying.
did you hear Big Crit stuff?
Yeah, I
Sway in
love
the morning?
it. I love it.
Oh my God.
But I guess what I was saying was like, I don't necessarily. I mean, we've always had. We can't pretend
Party
like we're
music.
not.
Yeah.
Rap party music, ratchet music. The thing about it just was. It
There was a
diverse.
balance.
Yeah, it was a balance. It was
Yeah,
a
but-
pure balance.
but-
Like I could listen to Luke and I can listen to X Clan on the same top 10 on the same show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. What I'm saying
know what I
is,
mean?
it seems like they have gone out of their way to weed out anything that made sense on the radio and just put out retardedness, stupid shit.
And that's true. But let me ask you this. So that look, I bring you to
You
another
got to
point.
look for something down almost that makes sense.
And this brings me to another point that I've been
don't
wanting
have
to
a
talk to
media
you guys.
outlet.
Media outlet, because we can say they, but have we just completely is it the black business model to build something up and then sell it out? It seems like
like it.
Okay, let me follow me, because when we were talking to
BET.
when you talk about like Roland Martin, for instance, and the TV One thing, one of his comments was they were talking about a contributor or somebody working at TV One, and this person apparently got a job at CNN or whatever, the big media outlets. And his comments were, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, he was
and
passive.
his comments was like, well,
can't be mad.
I can't be mad because he got a
But
better
you gotta
job.
be mad.
But that's the thing. Do we take the time to just build up our own, or are we in a position to always just want to be next to?
In regards to that,
what I'm saying?
when it comes to that comment, as a station, as a TV One, Kathy Hughes, who owns it, you should be outraged that one of your top talents is going to be vultured by CNN or Fox News or MSNBC. Goes back to business.
Yeah.
Let's say, you have a top, I'll take my business for example. If we need nurses. We do whatever we need to keep a hold on that nurse. You can't just say, all right, your competition, they're gonna go to your competition. You just like, okay, that's just business.
Yeah.
No. And I think that's what happened with Roland Martin. They too lackadaisical, but also too, they don't really have their ears to the street.
I mean, are we just
with
too quick to
TV1.
sell out? I mean, because that thought came from the Black Authority. He made me think of that.
I don't know about.
Give him
I
credit.
know, yeah.
I don't know
Jason
about,
Black,
about,
yeah.
about that part of it. But
Just in general, are we just too quick to sell out?
I mean, I don't know about the Roland Martin situation.
Yeah.
I don't know, the in-depth part of it. But I do know that a lot of times, if it goes back to what CT says, if we have to invest in people, invest in ourselves, sometimes you have to take a financial loss
Exactly.
and look down the road to what it really brings to the table. Not just monetarily, but the message that it sends when you make a decision. Like,
But the person on top must, hoard all the money.
Well, I mean,
You can't. So instead of giving your talent a couple extra little money just to grow your brand, grow your product, so you can bring more in. Well, I don't want to give them a couple of extra little beans. Let them go. But then it takes even more time and more money to find the new talent.
Right, hold on. I'm agreeing. If you've got the extra money, then I would go out of my way to pay this black man to stay, to continue to get my message out of being, hey, look, here's, some models of possibility, to the community, the black community. But at the same time, if I'm in a position where I'm a black talent or a black person doing business with somebody else who may not have that extra money, sometimes I would probably have to walk away and say, I'm not going to take the extra money because I'm here not just for the money, but for the
That
message
too,
that I have
okay.
to, put out there. So I think it has to be a two-way street when it comes to that.
But that comes
So there
back
needs
to having
be
a
some-
code.
Right,
Because if you
there
can
needs to
easily
some
be
open
bought off.
conversation. I don't know that situation.
Yeah, and
in
that was
terms
just an
of-
example. I was just,
But what's
know,
your
call it out.
statement you always made? If you money controls you, can easily be bought or something like
Yeah,
that.
if you can be, if money controls you in terms of what you do, right? If you can be bought, you can be sold. If you can be bought, you can be sold.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. If money will move you from your position of respect and honor and what you truly believe in, then what are you really worth? You can be sold. You'll be sold off just like any other piece of property. So you gotta stand firm in what you believe in. It's like some people around here want to sell some property or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they keep saying they want to make sure that it stays in certain people's hands. But to certain people, they only may have this much money, but that's all they got. They give you 100%. Well, this guy over here who you say you don't want to have it has this much money, right? but he's only willing to give you this much, which, you know, is down here equal to what this guy. So you are a little bit above what this guy has, but you're going to go with a little bit more because he has more. But it's going against, you know, the message that you put out there, which was I want to keep it in these people's hands. So if it was me, I go ahead and I'm not really taking a loss. I'm just not making as much money. I'll take that, you know, because I want to keep it in these people's hands.
Yeah, not everybody has that code, though.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, to me, you have to have it because if you really wanted to survive, because they're giving you 100%. So these people give you 100% of everything they have. These people only give you 10%. They just happen to have more in the coffers. So I'd rather go with the person who's going to give me all that they have.
Yeah.
You know, this person give you, you're a football coach. This dude over here, he run a 4.3. He might run a 2.9. But on the football field, he only give you 10%. This dude over here run a 5.2, but you know every play, you get 100%. I want that kid.
I need that 100.
I want that.
I need
kid.
that 100.
I want this kid right here. You know, and we got to look at it from that standpoint sometime, even when we do business, because I want to do business with him. Because I want to see his business grow. So I won't make as much money, you know, right now. But in the long run, I will, because maybe he'll do the same thing, and that'll create 4 more businesses just like him. So now we got 5 businesses doing, you know, business together. Whereas this business over here that had more money, I passed on it, but in the long term, I created, you know, wealth, you know, money that goes from my generation, your generation, you know, keeps on passing. You know.
And again, there's nothing wrong with doing business with everybody. And
No.
just like you said, you just can't constantly be bought and sold.
Right, no.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't.
I think that's a short,
Let
skinny
me ask you a question. All right, you know, this is end of December. We're going into 2018. You know, I'm not a person of you know, New Year's resolution type person, because I believe if you're gonna do something, you can start in September, July, whenever. But you know, some people like to say, all right, New Year, new goals, new me. Going into 2018, you know, each of us, you know, Rico, I'd like you to start. What change do you think as a black community do we need to start? It doesn't have to be something big, but what's the first thing you just like to see, either on an individual level or on a collective group level?
I'll start with the individual level.
Right.
I would like to see more of us get more self-involved with our kids, our personal, you know, household. I'd like to see more of us invest more of our personal time into building the foundation of our kids. On a collective level, I'd like to see more of us. We're talking locally.
Yeah, locally,
We're talking
national,
locally.
international,
Well,
no matter.
I'm speaking basically locally, because nationally I think it serves the same purpose. But especially locally, I would like to see more of us come together as a more of a cohesive unit and make decisions as one unit that would affect all of us, not just, you know, that selfish me attitude. And just say, look, man, what do we need, not me need? It's a big difference. That's what I'd like to see.
What about you, Hollis?
I got like a formula. So like, I think the formula that we've operated on is unity plus equality equals freedom. Well, I would strike out the unity and replace that with code. I would strike out the equality and replace that with empowerment. So I think the goal moving forward for black people as a whole is code plus empowerment equals freedom. So it's just simple as that. Just live your best life. You know, learn about money in its totality. Be about your family. And just find whatever centers yourself. And just don't be, you know, beholden to the bullshit. So,
I think, you know, on an individual level, I would say, you know, become more self-aware of who you are. You know, and all too often, you know, life puts a burden on us. You know, we have bills to pay. You know, you got to get to work, take care of the kids. You know, like living a stressed life. I think going 2018, sometimes you need to find time to, you know, for self-love.
yeah.
Because I feel like if your mind ain't right, your energy ain't right, no matter who you get together with,
True indeed.
that could poison the whole pot. You know,
Yeah.
they say one bad apple spoils the bunch.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you take your time to find out who you are, polish yourself out, you then take your rejuvenated self, like I said, back to the local community. And like Rico was saying, everybody get on one page. That goes back to what you were saying, to code plus empowerment.
Yeah.
Boom. And I don't think, and also we got to get out of this mindset that everybody is gonna get together. To me, that's,
No.
I think that's you're gonna actually wasting a lot of time and effort.
Well, when I
with
say get together, I mean
I understand.
get together on one accord in terms of mentally thinking, okay, hey, listen, this is just not all about me. I'm not just some micro universe within everything else. I'm not, have to exist with everybody else, but I also know that people out there like me, so I got to consider everybody else like me when I make my decisions. And I think another thing, man, I think we need to redefine wealth. We need to get a true understanding of what wealth is, not just money, but what wealth is.
But I agree with that.
You know.
But the thing is, you can have, we mean wealth.
That's what I
Expound
mean.
on that.
Most people, it's like when I say wealth, you got to understand. People need to understand wealth is things that you truly value, such as being healthy, your kids being around you, having respect for yourself. Those are all truly wealthy things, truly valuable things that we need to learn to bring to the table.
But also, the monetary wealth goes in hand with that.
I mean,
because if you had more money, afford high quality foods.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about on a personal level. If we value ourselves, and we can get to that.
It's harder
right?
to be tricked.
Yeah, you
value yourself,
can get to the monetary part of it. But if you don't have any self-worth, any real value, don't really, value yourself and your family and other people, none of that really matters. That's what I mean. I don't mean just monetarily. I'm saying these kids need to learn wealth within themselves. That's what I mean. They don't have any true sense of self-worth. They think they can buy it with $1. A lot of times,
Yeah. Throw on them new Jordan 11s. You on
Man,
top of the world.
Well, I think it was a kid in Louisville, I think, that got killed for those
Chicago.
new Jordans. Chicago. Yeah, they got killed.
I believe it was in Chicago. I think it was.
It's probably a few places
Yeah, he got
For
killed.
some Jordans.
for some sneakers.
Shit, fellas, I gotta
I
roll.
mean, at the end of the day, all right, brother. Well, let's just close this talk out for today. I guess it was a good conversation.
No
Glad
doubt,
Hollis could join us.
No doubt.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to having more episodes going forward. And I don't know if we're gonna have one next week. It's New Year. If we don't,
Yeah. New Year, new me.
Oh yeah. Hopefully for the new year too, we're looking at trying to get together a ski trip to Winter Place.
yeah.
That's sweet. I love
so-
skiing, man. That's
I
fun.
Yeah.
called about it and I looked into it. I think it's working out to, how much should I tell you?
35 or something like that. $35 a person.
$50 a person.
Yeah.
We'll
But the thing
round
is,
up to
man, it
$50
ain't
a person.
been cold enough around
And-
here, man. This is crazy.
But I mean, if we get enough people, we gotta need at least 15 people, and it's going to include all your equipment, all your equipment. You don't have to bring anything. It's going to include if you never skied before, snowboarded before. It's going to include instructions, lift tickets. You can go on any I guess hill, mountain. I've never been. If you want to ski any trail.
don't
wanna go on the Black
down no
Diamond.
Black Diamonds if you don't know what you're
wanna
doing.
do that.
I'm not doing it.
So you gonna be on them
I'm
greens.
probably gonna be on the other two, to be honest with you. But so anybody that wants to go, when we get it together, we're gonna put it out there, and hopefully, we really want you to bring your kids. We want kids to come and experience. This is gonna be a day trip. We leave early, go up, do what we want to do, and come back. If maybe we like it, we go up, rent a place, have grown folks have a party.
Yeah.
Make it all night.
Sweet,
All
man.
right, bet. Sound like a deal. All right, deuces.